We're starting on Kuf Yud Amid Beis, by the two dots, 3 lines from the top. Dar HaMidbar Ein Lehem Chelik L'Olam Haba. This is the controversial statement that it says in the Mishnah that the Dar HaMidbar, the Dar that was over by the Egel and was over by the Meraglim, Ein Lehem Chelik L'Olam Haba. Tana Rabban. Dar HaMidbar Ein Lehem Chelik L'Olam Haba. Oh, we're just now starting. We're talking about the Dar HaMidbar. We're finally up to the Dar HaMidbar, the Dar that went out of Mitzrayim. So we had a machlekes in the Mishnah on Kuf Yud Amid Beis. Dar HaMidbar Ein Lehem Chelik L'Olam Haba. One man Amar says that the Dar HaMidbar does not have a Chelik L'Olam Haba. Shenemar, at Midbar Hazeh Yitamu V'Sham Yamusu. In this midbar, they're going to end and they're going to die. Yitamu ba'olam hazeh, b'sham yamusu ba'olam haba. And additionally, they're going to die l'olam haba. They're not going to go b'zoichen l'olam haba. V'amar asher nishba'ati bi'api mivoyin el menuchasi. I made a shvua. The Bereshit says I swore in my anger that they're not going to come to the menucha. They're not going to come l'asad lavai to the l'olam haba that everyone else is going to. David Rebbe Kiva, that's Rebbe Kiva. Abelazar Omer, we skip the next, they turn around the two words. Boin hein la'olam haba. He says no, they are zeichet la'olam haba. Shenema asvulu chasidei karsei brisi. Gather to me my chasidim, the ones who made a bris with me. So asvuli is a lashon of gather to me, bring to me. They're going to come lasad lavai to olam haba. Alay zavach to me, alay zavach. They brought karbanos to me. Elamani Mekayim Ashenishbati Biapi. So what does he do with the earlier pasuk that the Rebbe Shalom swore in his anger that Imivayu al Menuchasi Ba'api Nishbati V'Chazreini Bi. The Gemara says no. The Mashma is exactly the opposite. The Rebbe Shalom says I made a shmua in my anger. When my anger subsided, then I was chayzer and I allowed them to be nichnas to Olam Haba. This is a reference to the Doris Habayim. Asulu Chasidi, gather to me my Chasidim, Elu Tzadikim Shebachol Dar V'Dar. That's a reference to the Tzadikim in every Dar. Karsei Brisi, Elu Chananya Mishal V'Azariah. That's talking about Chananya Mishal V'Azariah, that they were, so the Mefarshim have different pshatim about why Pedafka means them. They were Kairos Bris by being avoiding Avodah Zarah, which was the bris that the Baruch made with the Yidden. Shemasu asam l'techif shana eish. Allah izevach, that they brought karbanos to me. Elu Rebbe Kiva v'chaveru. That's talking about Rebbe Kiva and the other Asarei Hamarugei Malchus. Shemasu asam l'shchita al divrei Torah. That they allowed themselves to be slaughtered for divrei Torah. Reb Shimon ben Asher Omer boim hein la'olam haba. He disagrees. He says that the Dar HaMidbar is Bala Olam Haba. And he says a very good taina. Shenamar P'tuya Hashem Yeshuvun, those who are redeemed by Hashem will return about Tziyam Berina. They will come to Tziyam Berina. Amar Rabba Babachanam Rabbi Yochanan, Shavka Rabbi Akiva L'Chasiduseh. Rabbi Akiva has left his normal, he left behind his normal mahalach, his normal standard of being chassid, of being generous. Let's go and call in the ears of Yishalayim to say, I remember the chesed of your younger years. You followed, talking about Knesset Yisrael. You followed me into the midbar, into a land that is not, there was nothing there. So this is saying that the Yidden, when this pasuk is saying that the Yidden are going to be mispalel and ask in Yirmiyah, by the destruction of the Beis HaMikdash, they're going to ask for the Geula based on the schusim of the Dar HaMidbar. So the Gemara, how could you say that other people are davening b'schus the Dar HaMidbar and say the Dar HaMidbar themselves are not Zoicha L'Olam Haba? They were punished in a terrible punishment that very few people have. So he says it's very strange that Rabbi Akiva, as we're going to see later on in the Gemara, Rabbi Akiva normally was very generous, that he was so strict with the Dar HaMidbar.
He didn't reverse himself.
I'm sorry?
Rabbi Akiva didn't reverse himself.
No, he said he noted the peculiarity of it, the strangeness of it, but he didn't. Rabbi Akiva was not chayzer. Zok the Mishnah, Aseres Hashvatim ein nasidin lachzer. The 10 Shvatim that we saw before by Sanhedrin, when he came into Eretz Yisrael, he was able to conquer. He came from Assyria, from Ashur. He conquered the Shvatim, the Shvatim of Yisrael, the Bnei Yisrael. Bnei Yehuda, Sheva Yehuda, he wasn't able to, the Klal Yisrael that was in Yerushalayim, he wasn't able to conquer, but he did conquer and take into captivity and disperse the Aseres HaShvatim, because they were very shakua in Avodah Zarah. So the Mishnah says, Aseres HaShvatim ein matzidin lachzer. The 10 Shvatim are not going to return. They're going to be sent into another land on this day. Just like today, they're going and not returning. Just like the day. Every day comes, and when it goes, it doesn't come back. That day is gone. So too they go, and they're not chayzer. The Mefarshim say that this doesn't mean all of them don't return, because it's brought in Tanakh many times about how they came back. There's many references to the Yidden coming back from Galus, from the Galus of the Aseres HaShvatim. It means that not all of them, they didn't all come back all together. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. The Aseres HaShvatim will eventually come back, just like the rest of Klal Yisrael, and they're going to all be returned to Eretz Yisrael, lost love. Now there's a different thing, right? We said asid and lachsa. Now we're saying that they're ein lam chelik olam haba. Shenema vayitzam Hashem me'al admosam. Hashem took them out of their land. Ba'afu b'cheimo b'ketzav gadol, with great anger. Vayitzam Hashem me'al admosam olam hazeh v'yishol me'al eretz olam haba. So we darshan that Moshe took them out of their land ba'olam hazeh, and he sent them to a different land. That's l'olam haba, that they're not zoichet ha'olam haba. Divrei Rabbi Akiva. Shimon Yehuda ish kvar akay omer b'shum Reb Shimon imaseim k'yem hazeh im choizim v'im lav choizim. He says a different shot. No, it doesn't mean to say they're not zoichet ha'olam haba. He's saying if they'll continue to do as they're doing now, that they were shakua and avodah zarah, then they're not going to come back. But if not, they will be chayzer. So he seems to be equating being chayzer, coming back, to la'asid lavai. It seems like it's all part of the same thing. Whoever will, the Yidden who will have a olam haba, that they're going to have be part of the Tchias HaMesim, they're going to all come back to Eretz Yisrael, right, on Kamfei Nisharim. But those who are not Zeichen olam haba, part of it is that they're not going to come back altogether to Eretz Yisrael. Rebbe olam haba. He says they are going to come olam haba. Shenema be'ema hu yitaka b'shefa gadol. Me'eretz Ashur. Me'eretz Ashur is the Aseres HaShvatim that went into Galus in Eretz Ashur. Amar Rabba b'Bachanim Rabbi Yochanan Shafka Rabbi Akiva l'chasituseh. Again, Rabbi Akiva was being strict. Shenemar halach v'karasa says v'am eilat tzafayna. Go and call out these things to the north. V'amar tshuva mishuva. Come return those who have gone away. Yisrael noam. Meshuva Yisrael, those of Yidden who have gone away. No Hashem, apel panai b'chem. I won't be angry with you. Ki chassid ani. No Hashem, because I am a chassid. The Rebbe Shalom says, Ater la'olam. I'm not going to remain angry forever. So the pasuk saying that he's going to return them. My chasidusel. Why do we keep on saying? We have two examples of Rabbi Akiva being strict. Why are we saying he's so nice? All the examples we saw was him being strict. Like the Gemara, we see that he was a chassid, that he was forgiving the Tanya. Katane b'nei Risha Yisrael, the children who are katanim, who are not yet gedolim, who are the children of Rishaim of the Yidden, Ein boy in Olam haba. They're not going to go to Olam haba just like their parents. It means children themselves don't have schusim. Katanim don't have schusim. They're not mitzvah b'mitzvah, so therefore they don't have schusim. So since they don't have schusim, even if they normally will go b'schus their parents are mitzvahs, but they're Rishayim. They don't have their parents' mitzvahs. They don't have their own mitzvahs. So they're not boy lo'ilam haba. Shenemar kini hayayim ba boyer katana day is coming. That's going to burn like an oven. Haya kol zaydim, all those who are do averis v'chol oiser risha, and all those who do evil things. Kash, they're going to be like straw. V'lat oisam hayayim haba. They're going to be burnt on that day. Amar Hashem tzvak. Amar Hashem tzvakos. Hashem says so. Asher liyazav lahem sherish v'anav. There won't be left from them a root or a branch. They'll be uprooted, root and branch. Sherish ba'olam hazeh v'anaf l'olam haba. Divrei Rabbi Gamliel. Rabbi Gamliel says the sherish and the anaf mean the children. The roots and the branch. The branches are these are the children. Those are what come out of the tree. So they're not going to get an olam haba, according to Rabbi Gamliel. No, the children are going to be the zeichel olam haba. Shenamar shem psayim Hashem. The Rebbeinu Shalom watches those who are psayim shechein kayim beberachai hayam liyanuka pasya, and they call a child a pasya. We normally teach shem psayim Hashem that it means a fool. The Rebbeinu Shalom watches over fools, but he had a different teach of pasya that it means a child. For Aimer, Guda Ilna, cut down a tree, the Chavluyi Baram Iker Shrosh of Baram, the Chavluyi, and destroy it. Baram Iker Veshiroshay Ba'ara Shavuku. Leave the trunk and the branches you should leave in the ground. So it means to say that you should leave over the Rebbeinu Shalom, even though he punishes the parents, he leaves over the roots, which are the children. What do we do with the pasuk of that we're not going to leave over a root and branch? Means to say that the Rishayim, like we've seen consistently throughout Shas, that Rishayim get to have a good Olam Hazeh, because the Rebbeinu Shalom wants to give them all this chusim. He rewards them for all this chusim in Olam Hazeh. So they don't get anything like Olam Haba. So it means to say that these Rishayim, it doesn't mean that their children will not be Zaycha Olam Haba, but they won't get any Olam Haba because Rebbeinu Shalom is going to give them rewards in this world that they will use up every mitzvah that they did. Dava Acher, Shayrish Ju Neshama, V'anav Zeh HaGuf. The Shayrish refers to the Neshama, and the roots is the Neshama, and the Anaf, the branches is the Guf. That all of that is not going to be Nichnas Olam Haba, Aval Katani B'nei, period. Aval Katani B'nei Rishoi, Ovdei Kechavim. We had a question before the Ovdei Kechavim Azaycha Olam Haba. So this Gemara is going according to Mandam that says they are Zaycha Olam Haba. He says, but the children of Ovdei Kechavim, that Rishayim, they're certainly not. Everyone agrees that they don't go Olam Haba. The Gra takes out the words of Gamliel.
You could copy Tom Gaza, it's okay.
Yeah, that's for many reasons. Yeah. You mean you don't have to worry about the children, the collateral damage. Nafkale, maybe it's Avid. Yeah. Nafkale, maybe it's Avid called Zachal Lamai. That they're going to be every male, meaning not just the adults, they're going to be lost. Itmar, katan emes haba la'olam haba. Back to talking about a katan of a yid. A katan does get olam haba. Right, we were talking about the katan of a rasha, but a katan of a tzaddik certainly gets. So when do they get olam haba? Reb Chia Reb Shim ben Barav Char Ama Misha Shenoilad. One says from the time that they're born, and one says from the time that they speak. The one who says from the time that they're born, you're going to come and you're going to say your tzitkas to a born nation, a nation of those that were born. That I made this nation be born. So they teach it la'am noilad to a nation from when they're born. You're gonna be agidu tzidkasa. They're gonna already be tzaddikim that get olam haba. Mandam mishash siper. The mandam who says that as soon as a child speaks, there's zaychel olam haba. D'chsev zera yavdenu. Your zera, your progeny will be lost. Yisupur, when they speak Lashem Ladar, when they speak to Hashem Ladar. So the Yisupur, Zera Yavdenu Yisupur, when they speak, then they're going to be your Zera that is Zaychel Olam Ha. Itmar, Ravina Amma, Mishash and Nizra. Ravina says the different Mishash. He says, no, it's even earlier. Even a Vlad, that's that if the mother miscarries, as soon as the child is conceived, is already Zaychel Olam Haba. D'chsev Zera Yavdenu. The pasuk said, this pasuk that we just quoted, that when the zera, the progeny are lost, they're already considered to be zera, and they get the schusim to be nichnas olam haba. Now he has a kind of mishash and nimel. He says a fourth pshat. By the time that they get mila, d'chsev, not gonna bring up the obvious question. I don't know the answer to it. What about women, right? D'chsev, ani. Ani, I am an ani, I am a poor man. Begavaya minayar, and I'm already dying from my youth. Nasasi emech apuna. I am carrying your fear. I'm dealing with the fear of the Rebbe Shalom, apuna, and from your anger. So, where does it come from? On any of the government? No. I don't know.
Rashi
that we change we do a circumcision, we do a milah out of fear of the Rabbeinu Shalom. So that's a reference to when a person has his milah. Zak the Gemara, a fifth pshat, Remeir, Tana Mishum, Remeir, Mishasha, Yoimer, Amen. But when it's not just when it is the latest one, when the child can speak, when he says Amen. Shenema Pischu Sha'arim V'Yavai Goy Tzadik, open the gates and allow the Goy, the nation of Tzadikim, Shaimer Emunim, the ones who, guardians of the faith. Al Tikri Shaimer Emunim, those who guard the faith, Ela Shaimer Amen. The ones who say Amen, they're already part of the Goy Tzadik. My Amen, what is the word Amen? Amar Chinina, Kel Melech Neman. It's a nutrican of Kel Melech Neman, the first letter of each word. L'chein herchiva shaul nafsha upara pia levli chayk. The pasuk says, therefore he opened the Gehenim, upara pia levli chayk, and he opened up its mouth, the mouth of Gehenim, to swallow those who are bli chayk, without a chayk. Saying that Gehenim is waiting for someone who misses even one single chayk, any mitzvah. Anyone who misses a single chayk is nichnas to Gehenim. This doesn't mean he doesn't get Olam Haba, I don't think. I think it means that he has to go into Gehenim to suffer. This is not an appropriate pshat. Saying the other way around. Someone who learned, who knows even one single chayk, he's part of Klal Yisrael and he's Meshumer. He's gonna be excluded from Gehenim.
That's an easy one. That's for
Seems like going to the pendulum swung very far in these two pshatim. V'hayu b'chol eretz noam Hashem. It's going to be in the entire land. Pishnayim ba yikaresu yigavu from vashlishis yivater. Two will die. They're going to be cut off and die, and the third will be left over. Amar Rish Lakish shlishi shel Shem. Rish Lakish says this is talking about Shem, the son of Noach, and it's saying the third son of his, which is Apachshad, And it's saying 1/3. The Torah says Ashlishis Yevaser, that 1/3 of that, since it said 2 will be cut off and Ashlishis will be left over, that's referring to Arpachshad, who was the ancestor of Avram, and it's saying even the Klal Yisrael will be included, that only 1/3 will be Zeicha to Olam Haba. That again is too strict. He says it doesn't mean to say that it's talking about the third son of the third. The third son will have a third of his ancestors gone, of his descendants gone. What it means to say is the third son of the third son. So it's talking about Noach. Noach's third son was Shem, and it's saying the Shlish, the third son of his, will be fully preserved, but the other sons not. Cham and Yafes, many of them will not come to Olam Haba. So the Ashlishis Yevater is a reference to the third son of the third son. Ki anochi ba'alti b'chem, I lorded over you. V'lakachti eschem echad me'ir u'shnayim mishpacha. I took from you one from a city and two from a mishpacha, like we saw earlier. Mishpacha is a reference to an entire country. So I take one from a city and two from a country. That Amar Shlakish Dvarim Kiksavan. It means to say, like it says, that the Rambam says, I'm only going to save one from one city and two from every country. Again, the third time being too strict. If you have one from a city or two from a country, that's enough to save the entire city or country. He also said, as it's written, same shot, the same achlekas. Rav saw that his Talmud of Kahana was cleaning his hair before coming to learn. He said, you're not going to be found, it won't be found in the Eretz HaChaim. Pasuk says, you're cursing me that I'm not going to be found by Eretz HaChaim because I was fixing my hair? No, he said, Amalei, krokamina. No, I'm telling you the rule. The Torah will not be found by someone who wants to live the good life. As we all know, it's brought in Pirkei Avos that the Torah is only available to those who are Meimes Atzmei. So, but those who are Machai Atzmei, you can't say I'm going to acquire the Torah at the full level without totally dedicating yourself to it. He said, I was giving you Musar, I wasn't cursing you. Tanya, Reb Simoy Oymer, Nemav lekachti eschem li la'am. I'm going to take you to be for a nation. That means I'm going to take you out of Mitzrayim to be for me a nation. Nemav eisi eschem. I'm going to bring you to Eretz Yisrael. Makash yitziyosem Mitzrayim le'viyosem la'aretz. So it's a hekesh between the two. Ma biyosem la'aretz shnayim misamach revuya. Just like when the Yidden came to Eretz Yisrael, it was only 2 out of every 600,000. Only one. That means the only ones who survived from the whole Dara Midbar was Yeshua and Kalev. Everyone else died out in the Midbar. There were, out of the millions and millions of Yidden that were slaves in Mitzrayim, the amount that left were only 1 out of every 300,000 or 2 out of 600,000. Amar Rava says the same will be L'Maisa Mashiach. Shnama v'ansa shama kimenu rea. You're gonna. The Pashto Pshat is you're going to dwell there like your days of youth, and like the days that you went out of Eretz Mitzrayim. So he darshans v'ansa shama, not that you're going to live there, but rather v'ansa shama, you're going to be ani or an anav. You're going to be very impoverished and modest that you're going to only have 1 out of 300,000. Tanya, Amar Abullah the Rebbe Yossi.
Is he going to survive to see the Mashiach?
Yeah.
They're going to be a minion?
Well, I guess the way if you say the same thing like in Mitzrayim, that it says that it's referring to all the Dairis in Mitzrayim, that none of the ones who were there b'shas the Geula, was only 1 in 300,000. The same thing from all the thousands of years. The ones who will be there to be Mashiach will be only a very small proportion. Right? There's been millions and millions of Yidden who died earlier. It doesn't mean they're not going to go back. They're not going to have Tchias HaMesim. But they're not going to be there b'shas Mashiach comes.
So,
I mean,
there's going to be another Tchias HaMesim before the Mashiach for those who passed away.
I don't know if it's before or after, but say the ones who are going to be alive b'shas the beginning of the Gula. I don't think there's Tchias HaMesim before Mashiach comes. I think it's afterwards.
So there was the people who are going to be there to greet the Mashiach. Out of all the historic population of Jews, they're going to be
from the time of I guess from the destruction of the second Beis Hamikdash, the 2,000 odd years. Tanya, Amar Rabbi Elazar Rabbi Yossi, Hamachas nechnachsti l'Alexandria shel Mitzrayim. I came to Alexandria. In Mitzrayim, Asotzi Zachan Echad. I found an old man. V'amli bo v'erecha ma osi avoisei lavesecha. Come, I'm going to show you the historical evidence of what my parents did to your fathers. Mehem tavu bayam. Look, some of them were drowned in the sea. Mehem, like the children were drowned in the sea. Mehem hargu b'chorav. They killed them with if they didn't do their work, they would behead them. Mehem ma'acho b'binyan. Some of them, they took away the bricks. They took the babies and put them as in the walls. And because of the complaining about this, Moshe Rabbeinu was punished. Moshe said to the Rebbeinu Shalom, from the time I came to Parai to speak as you instructed me to do, he made things worse for Am Yisrael. It's a shame on those that were lost, and I don't find they're similar to them. Many times I told Avram, Yitzchak, and Yaakov, I said, Kel Shakai. I identified myself as Kel Shakai. They never asked, they never asked about me. They never asked, what are you doing? They didn't say which name. It seems like there's some, the Rebbeinu Shalom has the name of Shakai is not the name is the name that he gave to them where he made a promise. And there's another shame of Hashem, another aspect of the Rebbeinu Shalom where he pays back. And they never inquired about the second. The Avos never asked, when are we going to see the side of you that pays back what you promised? I promised, I told Avram, go walk in the Eretz Yisrael to the length and the breadth, because I'm going to give it to you. Bikish makam likar Sarah, when he wanted to bury Sarah, and he wasn't able to find the place, he'd been promised the Eretz Yisrael, and he still had to pay for 400 the full price to find a place to bury Sarah. Well, here Almidai he didn't ask anything. He told Yitzchak that you're going to live in Eretz Yisrael, and I'm going to be with you, and I'm going to bless you. It means you're going to get the land. Bikshu avadim mayim lishtos. They wanted to find water to drink. They had to fight for it. That his shepherds had to fight with the Roy Grar to find water to drink, even though he was promised he was going to be Mavarach in the land. They said, this is our water. Yitzchak did not ask any questions. I told Yaakov that I'm going to give you the land of Eretz Yisrael. He wanted a place to plant his tent. He wasn't able to find it until he paid 100 kashita for it. And he also didn't ask. And he didn't ask me, where's your name? Where's the name that pays back? Right away, when the Rebbeinu Shalom told Moshe by the snare that he should go and speak to the Bnei Yisrael, he said to him, what's your name? Now you say that you didn't save the Bnei Yisrael. So Rebbeinu Shalom said, this is your punishment. You're going to see that which I'm going to do to Pari and Milchama. Pari ataraya. You're going to see that I'm going to punish Pari. Be ataraya, but mechames shloishem echad malachim. But you're not going to see the milchama of the 31 kings when Yeshua evicts them from Eretz Yisrael. So it's a very obvious question that we know that in the Chumash it says that he was punished for hitting the rock. That was the reason why he wasn't nichnas to Eretz Yisrael. So they say this this wasn't with a shavua and it really could have been overturned, but this was where he originally got the gzeira that he wouldn't go into Eretz Yisrael, but that was finalized when he hit the rock. But now we're going into a new topic. It says that Moshe Rabbeinu, after he davened for the Meraglim, I think it was for the Meraglim, the Rebbeinu Shalom said the lashon of the Shalosh Hashem Midrash, Hashem, Kel Racham Machanon, Er Chapayim, Rav Chesed V'Yemes. So it says, Vayimar Moshe went quickly, Vayikad Arza V'Yishtach, he bowed down. Ma Ra Moshe, why did he bow down? Chanina ben Gamla Er Chapayim Ra. He saw the midah of Hashem that he's slow to anger. Rabban Amri Emes Ra. He saw the midah of Emes, and that's why he bowed down. Tanya Kamanda Mer Chapayim Ra. The Tanya Kisha'Allah Moshe Lemorim. When Moshe went up to Shemayim, Matal Geshbochish Yosef B'Kais of Erech Hapayim. He found the Rebbeinu Shalom writing Erech Hapayim. Amul Van Rebbeinu Shalom Erech Hapayim LeTzadikim. He asked Moshe Rabbeinu, does that mean that you're going to be slow to anger for tzaddikim? You're going to forgive them? Amalei Aflu Rishayim. He said, no, even for Rishayim. Amalei Rishayim Yavaidu. Moshe Rabbeinu said the Rishayim should be destroyed. Amalei Hashta Chazis Maidimi Bayalach. He said, the Rebbeinu Shalom said to Moshe, you're going to see that you're going to need this. You're saying Erech HaPayim should only be for tzaddikim. Someday, the day is going to come quickly where you're going to be begging, you're going to say to me to be Erech HaPayim. Kishachata Yisrael, and when the Yidden were chata by the Meraglim, Amaloi, Loi Kach Amartali Erech HaPayim L'Tzadikim. The Rebbeinu Shalom said to him, why are you saying you're Erech HaPayim? You're davening to me that I should forgive the Yidden, but you're the one who said it should only be for tzaddikim. Amalafan Rebbeinu Shalom V'Loi Kach Amartali Aflu Rishayim. But you said to me Aflu Rishayim. V'hata B'hainu D'chsev V'ata Yigdom Na'koyach Hashem Kasher Dibarta Lema. And now the Rebbeinu Shalom you should do your koyach like you said, meaning that you had originally said even Rishayim. Now that I'm asking you to forgive the Klal Yisrael that they did this, they all became Rishayim by the Ma'aseh Meraglim. So he resorted to reminding the Rebbeinu Shalom of his words. Rav Chana have a solik for Azul B'darga Debei Rabba Bar Shila. He was walking on the steps of Rabba Shila. Shamel hu Yenuka de Amar Eidesecha Nemnu Moed Leveischa No Ava Kodesh. Your edus is forever trustworthy. Leveischa, your house is no Ava Kodesh. Is a beautiful abode, a holy abode. Hashem la'irach yam. Hashem is irach yam. V'samach le'tefila l'Moshe. This is Moshe's tefillah. So we say la'irach yam is mashmoyis of erech hapayim. The Rebbeinu Shalom says he's ma'arach. Irach yam. He waits a long time. He's slow to anger. Amashmamina erech hapayim. This is a raya that Moshe Rabbeinu saw the erech hapayim. Amr Balaz Amr Chanina. Also the Shvach Elias Atar Barosh called Tzaddik B'Tzaddik. The Rebbeinu Shalom is going to be like a crown for every tzaddik. Shenema b'yema hu yeh Hashem tzvakes la'ateres tzvi u'letzviras teferes l'shar amay. The Rebbeinu Shalom is going to be a teres tzvi, a crown, and a tzviras teferes, like a jewel, a beautiful jewel, the rest of his nation. Ma'ila teres tzvi u'letzeferes u'letzviras teferes la'isem ritzaynai u'letzapem li'shuasai. To those who do as his wishes and who wait for the Yeshua. Maybe it applies to everyone. To those who make themselves like Shirayim, who are anivim and make themselves bottle to the Rebbeinu Shalom's ratzon. The pasuk continues. That's the next pasuk. To those who sit in mishpat, I lost the. I lost the where is the Ruach Mishpat Shayfet Rucha, the one who masters his Yetzer. And Ula Yoshev al Mishpat. L'Gvura Meshiva Milchama Sha'ira L'Ruach Mishpat Zeharoida Es Yitzray. The Ruach Mishpat is the one who vanquishes his Yetzer. L'Yoshev al Mishpat Zehadon Din Emes Lamita. That's the one who gives a din to, who paskins a correct din. L'Gvura Zeh Miskaber B'Yitzray. That's the one who overcomes his Yetzer with Gvura. Meshiva Milchama. Those who return from Milchama, those are the ones who engage in Milchamta Shel Torah. Sha'areh, Elu Shemashkimim Marivim B'Batei Mekniyas or B'Batei Midrash. So those who get up early and they stay late in the Beis HaKnesses. Amra Midas Hadin Lifnei HaKadosh Baruch Hu Rabbeinu Shalom Manishtanu Elu Me'elu. This is the first Manishtana. Why are these different from these? Amalahem V'Gam Ela B'Yayin Shagu B'Seicher Tov. He says, even those Yidden who did wrong, they've done wrong with shikras. Paku plila. What does it mean? Paku ain puka el gehenim. Puka is a lashon of gehenim. Shenam alisiya zayis l'chal fuka. Ain plila el dayan shem avnasam b'flilim. So he darshans that this is. Let me see what this is meaning because I forgot. Sha'ara elu batak. You see this manashtan elu sheyesh behem midas halalu min hashar. Why are these the only ones who are zaycha? Amagash baruch b'yayin shagu. Ain plila el dayanim. So he's saying that this is a reference to those who are done them. It seems to focus on those parts, the ones who are done emes la'amitai, and those who are who provide mishpat. Yeah, let's start the Mishnah. It's a long Mishnah, but we might as well start it. So the Mishnah, because it's not a million anyway. Anshe Yerani Dachas ein lam chelik olam haba. The people of Yerani Dachas don't have a chelik olam haba. Shenema yatzu anoshim bnei Bilyal mikebecha ve'edichu es yoshvei Yiram. The people who are bnei Bilyal, who are Isaac and Avodah Zarah, you have to take them out from amongst you. When I'm sorry, yatzu anoshim bnei Bilyal, there are people who come from amongst the city. And they convince the people in their city to be Ovid Avodah Zarah. They only get this din of being an Irani Dachas. They get Saif, they get Hereg, they get decapitated, as opposed to getting the general din of Chenek for being Ovid Avodah Zarah. They only get this din. They have to be that the people who convince them are from that city. Like it said, Yotzu Anoshim Bnei Bilyal Mikebecha, from amongst you. Anoshim has to be that it's men, because like it says in the pasuk Anoshim, Hedichu Anoshim Ktanim. But if it was women or children, Oishachudach Miyuta, if it's not brave of the city, like the pasuk says, I don't know, you have to see where the pasuk says exactly. Or if those that convinced them were not from the city, they came from somewhere else. That's again the pasuk says that they came from amongst you. Then they don't get the din of Irani Dachas, but rather they're treated like any yachid that is Ovid Avodah Zarah. But Shrichim Beis Eidim Bahasra L'chol Echad Ve'echad. Even though it sounds like this is a gzeira that's made on the city, you still need that you have to have an aid and hasra for every one of the people who are going to get this einish of hereg, that they're going to get killed, they're going to get decapitated, and it has to be roiv. You have to have roiv of the city, and each one has their own edus and hasra. There's a chaimer over those that are not in Irani Dachas. The Avodah Zarah without this rule of Irani Dachas. Sheyichidim beskila. The Yechidim get skila, which is a more chamadika l'kol adeyas. Everyone agrees that skila is more chamer than hereg. Lefika chamayim palat. But since they have that chumrah that they get skila, their money is not taken away. Their children are able to be Irish their money. If I'm Reuben B'Sayef, they get an easier form of Misa, but therefore their mammon is destroyed. You have to hit them with they should be hit with the sword. If there's a donkey driver or a camel driver that's going from place to place, and they're found, if they're found in the city, and they make it that together with them, normally they're not going to be participating in the shenanigans of the city. So therefore, if they're make it that less than 50% of the city is being Oived Avodah Zarah because of their numbers, they save the city from the din of Iyar Nidachas. Shenemar, Hachar Moisam Veskol Asher Bo. Should destroy them and everyone that's in them. Ves Abahema Lefichar. Mikan Amru Nichsei Tzadikim Shebesaycha Oivdin Shebechutzula Plaitin. We say you should destroy and everything that's in it. From there we see that the possessions of a tzaddik that's inside of it gets destroyed together with everything else. But those that are outside of it get saved. For those of the Rishayim, even if they have possessions that are outside of the city, they get destroyed. All of the booty should be gathered into the town square. If it doesn't have a town square, you make a town square. And if there's a square outside the city, you bring it inside. Either that means you create a new city square, or you expand the gates of the city to include it. It says shlala, the possessions, the shalal of that city, v'lo shal shamayim, but not that of the Rabban Shem. Kan amru hekdesha sheba yiftu. Whatever hekdesh is found, that's pada, it doesn't get destroyed. With trumos yirkavu, the trumas should be allowed to rot. Ma'aser sheni v'kisvei hakodesh, ma'aser sheni and svarim, the Sifrei Torah and mezuzos and tefillin, yignoizu. They get pushed, they get put away, they don't get burned together with everything else. I'm going to treat it lefanai. I'm going to treat it as if you brought a carbon to me. After it's all destroyed, it will be left there as a monument. The pile of burnt stuff will be a monument. You shouldn't make out of it, you shouldn't let it become gardens and orchards. You shouldn't rebuild it the way it was in a nivnus. That you now do. It's okay to make it into gardens and orchards. You shouldn't allow anything to attach to you from this. That means that there's not going to be any of the Rebbeinu Shalom's anger left over if you follow this procedure. Okay, we'll stop over here. I hope you find a place. This is going to have to go somewhere to daven.
Yeah, I'm supposed to actually go to a different place.
Oh, but you came here.
Yeah.
Have a good day.